Numb is a conversation between a doctor and a patient. And I think it's a good point in the album to tackle a bit the concept of psychiatry and not really talk about specific concepts in psychoanalysis, but really speak a bit about this issue of psychiatry and doctors and how they deal with patients. Hello, is there anybody in there? This is the doctor speaking. Just nod if you can hear me. Already we can get a sense that the doctor just really cares about basic things. Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on now, I hear you're feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain. I can ease your pain. And I think this is an important word because it comes with the supposition that he can't cure or he can't really remove the pain, but the job of the doctor here is a bit ironically said to be easing the pain and get you on your feet again. Relax, I'll need some information first, just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? We can get this ironic sense of the doctor already kind of making it simple or trying to simplify the pain of this patient, of the main character of the album who's having a complete psychotic breakdown. Yet the doctor just wants only the basic facts. And here we can tackle the issue of psychiatry and how psychiatric appointments usually go, or a lot of the time go, in which patients go to a doctor and the doctor just has a checklist where they want to find 6 or 7 over 10 symptoms in order to diagnose the patient with a specific disorder. And this goes a lot in contrast with the psychoanalytic approach of really trying to speak to the patient and taking years before a real diagnosis of structure is made and years before somebody is even slightly categorized. So we have this big contrast between the two. The patient responds, "There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying." So we can see that the patient is in a lot of distress and they're trying to express this, yet have a huge difficulty in doing so, in contrast with the doctor who just wanted some basic facts. "When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like 2 balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am." We can see the patient speaking about their childhood, which is prototypical for a psychoanalytic approach. The patient wants to speak, and here it's important to say or to highlight the importance of speech in psychoanalysis. Since Floyd and then the one thing all of psychoanalysts have agreed on is the importance of speech. It's a speaking cure. It's a cure through speech. All psychoanalysis assumes is that through speaking, the subject or the person or the patient can actually perform radical change in their unconscious or free their unconscious from specific knots or specific complexes. It is only through speech. And since we are formed by speech and by language, it is only through language and through expressions that we can actually perform a change at the very foundations or the very matrix of our existence. And this is what the patient here is trying to do. He's trying to speak about his childhood, about how he felt, about this instance he had where his hands felt just like 2 balloons. And then he finishes with, "I have become comfortably numb." And this comfortably numb really hits hard on the idea of psychiatric medications and people just being cured purely through medication. Although one should not deny what a beautiful and great technology psychopharmacology is, it also comes at the expense of psychiatry or psychoanalysis or dealing with mental issues only through pharmacology without having any effect whatsoever on the idea that the patient can also perform change in their unconscious or in their personality through speech. And one only focuses on the idea of the medication that when used alone, you can hear it from thousands of patients that For example, something as simple as an antidepressant really doesn't make one happy or really doesn't resolve the issue, but it makes them more numb to the issue and comfortable but numb. And here we can get the title of the song, Comfortably Numb. The doctor continues, okay, it's just a little pinprick, there'll be no more but you may feel a little sick. Can you stand up? I do believe it's working good. That'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. That'll keep you going through the show is a perfect metaphor about what we're speaking. It's as if the only intention of the doctor or the only intention of the medical psychiatric professional, as generalized, and not every single psychiatrist for sure, but a bit like how it's seen, is that they just want to keep you going through the show. It's as if they just want you to give you these medications to keep you going and not really to tackle the source or the very foundation of your issues or of your illness or of your distress or of your sickness or whatever you want to call it, or of your symptoms. It's just a symptomatic cure. It's not really something tackling the source. Again, there is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon, you are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, again he's speaking of his childhood, the subject wants to speak. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is grown, the dream is gone. We can see the subject going back to the childhood. The subject wants to speak of what it is that really put them in distress. It is through these words that when one is in a psychoanalytic session, one needs to listen to every word the patient says, because they all count. These fleeting glimpses out of the corner of one's eye during childhood are what might be at the very source of whatever distress the patient is at now. And this is why the most important lesson of psychoanalysis is to really listen to the speech of the patient and let the patient speak.